Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's so wonderful to see all of you. And it is our 11th class of the session of 12 classes. Tomorrow is going to be your day with you guys taking over the talking and chatting about your paintings. And I love all the paintings that have been sent in. I just love it. They're all beautiful, and you guys are going to be amazing. And I'm just very, very happy that all of you, whether or not on video, are signing on sometimes 15 minutes ahead of time. And I just really appreciate it. I really, really, truly appreciate it. So I always try to chat ahead of time, and it's always nice to hear your stories and everything. So today's class is going to be a little bit short because we're not painting, we're not sketching, and we're not talking about artists. But what we are going to talk about is if you paint and you would like to, people to buy it, what are the things that you can do to get your art in front of people? That's what we're going to talk about. And what I'm going to tell you in this little PowerPoint of ours is what I have done. And of course, there are many ways of trying to do this, but then, what I have done is what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is the So how to share your art? That's the question. Okay, very simple. Even if you didn't want to ever sell it, how do you say hi to the kitty cat? Oh, hi. What's his name?
Okay.
Oh, he's purring too. Very nice. Very cute. Okay, so even if you didn't want to sell your art, okay, how are you going to share it with people? Let's find out. Let's talk about it. So, I created about, if in the 58th year of my life, I said, I'm going to create 58 paintings. And I did more than that. So what do you do with all this art? There's no fun keeping all that art in your home and nobody seeing it. It's best shared with people out there. It's best to share what you created with people out there. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. If it is good in your eyes, it's good, and that's it. Okay? So, well, what I did was when I thought, oh my goodness, like, what do I do with all this art? So, the first thing I did was I created a little website, and it's really easy to create this, and it's kind of free actually. If you have less number of paintings, you can go to fineartamerica.com, and it's in your PowerPoint, so you don't have to take notes. But if you go to fineartamerica.com, you actually upload a certain number of pieces of art on there for free. Who knew? Right? If you can do something for free, do it. Now, one downside about Fine Art America or any other site is there are more than 1 billion websites all over the world. How many people do we have on the planet? About 7 some billion people. So if there are 7 billion people and there's 1 billion websites and growing every single day, nobody's going to find your art, is it? But regardless, some people will find, because there are 7 billion people. So somehow people will find your website. Okay, so try this and go on there. Now, you can create an online presence like I have. I created my website and I did a lot of research. I said, okay, you can create a website using a lot of different sites, right? A lot of different sites. But for me as an artist, I felt that I would like to go with FASO, which is Fine Art Studio Online. And the reason why I went with that, after a tremendous amount of consideration, actually I took years and probably months going up to it. Like I've been considering whether to make my own website to showcase just my art. Okay. Yes, I was on Fine Art America. At first, I opened up the account. Then I didn't do anything for almost a year. And then finally I uploaded it, and uploading is very, very easy. But then I wanted to get my own little website, and so I went to Paso, which is a company that was created by this gentleman who owned a gallery of his own. So if he had a gallery and he created this website for artists, I thought it would be good. But there are other websites that are good. One of the things that I really, really enjoyed about this particular website is that their support staff is unbelievably supportive. I have complimented them consistently because the support staff gets back to you within the day, and that's incredible. And if you go onto my website, you'll find that it is pretty professionally done. I mean, every single word on there is mine. I mean, I created it, but you know, but when you're making a website, you're going to run into a lot of problems. And if you do run into problems, you want someone to teach you how to go get beyond those problems. Like for instance, I used to have, my survey, which I hope all of you have completed. It was a survey that I designed because I wanted to do a study on color and its effect on the health of people, right? So at first, when I uploaded it, when I talked to support, they said, okay, you can do it if you put a PDF form and upload it onto the website. Now, the problem with that was that the PDF form, people had to download it, write on it, scan it, and send it back to me. Now, how many of you would do that? Very few. So like the early stages, people just didn't fill up my survey. So I thought, there has to be a better way. And somehow I figured out the Google Docs. And now all you have to do is click on the sign, take the survey here, site, and whatever answers you give in, it gets recorded and it gets stored into my Google Drive. So I can tell the last time I checked, just after 2 days of putting it on Facebook, I had like the number of surveys went from 0 to 100 and I think 115 or so within 2 days. So that was really exciting to me, right? Very exciting. So during all of this, process, the support people at the Fine Art Studio Online platform for artists helped me out a lot because they were as excited as I am, I think. And so I can't say enough of good things about them. You can also create an online presence. I'm sure a lot of you have social media sites like Facebook or Instagram. And you can, if you don't even have that, that's fine. You can share it via email or text messages to your friends and your family. Show them this is the art you created. Share it with them. When I look at your art, I am just thrilled to see the progress all of you have made just within 10 days. Just within 10 days, I can see the progress. And it's just phenomenal, phenomenal. Just imagine if you were to do this for 10 years or a lifetime. You're just going to get very, very good at it and surpass all of your teachers, in my opinion. Okay? So make sure you don't hide your art. Share it with people. We want to see it. The world wants to see it. And it's much more fun when you share your art instead of just hiding it away in a cupboard or in a closet or in a garage. Show it to people. Okay? That's one of my things. Online presence, social media sites like for artists, they say nowadays Instagram is it. So if you put it on Instagram, it's really good. You can share it on Facebook. You can share it on Pinterest or Twitter. Pinterest is a good place because then your art kind of lives forever, actually. Okay, so people, if they like your art, they will pin it and so forth. So that these are some of the social media sites I use, and it's embedded in my on my website and so forth. One of the nice things, there are other sites like Fine Art America. Remember I told you my first website that I created was on Fine Art America, and then what happened was Fine Art America gives you an online website for free. It's called pixels.com. So you'll have your own pixels.com website. And the thing about Pixels is that, and Fine Art America, is that your art, people can put it on shower curtains, they can put it on mugs, they can put it on all kinds of things, battery chargers, um, they can make like canvas wraps, they can make things on metal. I mean, they have more, they can put it on t-shirts and they'll do it for you. You don't have to do anything. They'll do it for you and you'll just make money on the side. Okay. So Pixels and Fine Art America, which is part of the same company, can do that. Then another website that I want to try in the future is Printful. I'd like to try that. And I haven't yet put my art on there, but I am going to do it. So why put all your art on all of these websites? Why? Because the more places you have your art, the more eyes will get on them, right? Remember, I told you there are 1 billion websites. And if all of us, like all 27 of us, try to create, that's going to be a 1 billion 27 plus more. So every single day, people are creating websites. But then you have to do a lot more work to actually promote it like by your own work. Don't, I mean, you can pay promote it, but I promote it just by scheduling posts or like posting myself. So that's called organic promotion. You do the work and you get the reward for it. Don't pay somebody to do it, but organically promote your work. Okay. So that's one other idea. How to create an online presence. All of us have been stuck at home in the last since March because of COVID-19. And one of the things that has happened in COVID-19 is that like you and I are online on a computer and we are talking about art and we are creating art. Granted, it's not the best way to learn from somebody. It's nice to go to a school and you're in front of a teacher and they are teaching you these things. But then again, I mean, during the shutdown, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from YouTube lessons and, just watching and learning from virtual, teachers. So you can learn if you wanted to online, okay, without like a teacher being there right in front of you. You can learn a lot. So how can you create more presence? You can do virtual exhibitions. So what you can do is, what is a virtual exhibition? Virtual exhibition will be one like tomorrow. I'm going to do a virtual exhibition of all your paintings. So I want you to invite your friends and family to give them that Google link and ask them to come and look at the exhibition of the art of this particular class. Okay. Then another place to go is call the library up, your local library, and say, hey, these are my pieces of art. Can I have a space in your library to exhibit my art? And most likely they'll say, okay, or they'll say, no, we're booked, where you can do it in like a month or 2 months or so forth. So that's one of the things that I'm going to try to do is get a library to exhibit the art that you have created. Okay. That's for a different time because we want, like, even now there's a lot of social distancing going on, so I'll wait for a good time to have a library exhibition. Again, share it with friends and family and at home. You can have a little party and call your friends and family, and you exhibit your art at home. Advertise, word of mouth, online news flash, or paid advertising. But I mean, you know, not all of us have a ton of money to throw away. So word of mouth and just writing about your art is good enough. Okay? Does anybody have any questions or comments so far? None of you are muted,
While we
right?
were talking about this, I remembered my school district does this holiday bazaar thing where each year during like I think it's like in December, each year people can sell stuff at the elementary school in the school district. So I remember one year me and my mom were at the holiday bazaar and I was just making drawings and selling them for 25 cents each.
Very nice. There you go. That's wonderful, Jared. Very, very nice. That's very, very, very nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
just talking about the sharing art just made me think of that.
good. Okay, that's very good. Thanks for sharing, Jared. Now, how to label your art correctly. So one of the things that I want to, okay, there is somebody who's chatting. Let's see, what is the chat? Saroj, no sound. Abigail's art is in the library. Yes, very nice, very nice. Rose, it's so cute. Kitty, oh, that's very nice. So let's, Saroj, are you getting the sound? I want to make sure Saroj has the sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Saroj? Hopefully you can. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. All right, let's move on. So when you are presenting your art online, how should you label your art? Everybody, like, you know, give a title to the painting. One of the things that I really don't like about artists is when they don't give a title to their painting. There's a lot of untitled paintings out there, even of famous artists. But look at the painting. What does that painting communicate to you? Okay, give that a title. Okay, name it. Just like you and I have names, your creations should have names as well. Okay, so make sure that you give the painting a name. That's the title of the painting. Then you have to say what is the size of the artwork. Okay, so if most of your sketchbook paper paintings are 9 by 11, so you'll say, okay, my painting is called Starry Sky or green grass, you know, and then say it is a 9 by 11, and then you say what is the medium. It is done by watercolor pencil, or is it a watercolor, is it acrylic, is it oil paint, is it just charcoal, what is it, and on what kind of medium, like, you know, what kind of like paper, is it on paper, is it on canvas, is it on canvas board? So you have these three types of materials, right? You have your sketchbook, which is paper. You have a mixed media paper on in your kit that we gave you. And then you have canvas boards. It's the little thin 8 by 10 canvas boards that you have. Then you have the canvas, which is the 16 by 20 rather large canvas, right? Stretched canvas. And then you have to label it with your name. So say we said it is Starry Skies on 8 by 10 canvas board, acrylic on canvas board by Jareth, or by Prem, or by Abigail. So when you when you take your painting, you have to name it and put all of these things on your computer, Because when that painting goes out and lives in this virtual world out there, when people click on it, they know that this painting was made by Kusum or Saus or Abigail or Rose or whoever. And they know exactly what the painting is, what the size of your artwork is, what medium it is, and your name. So make sure that you label your art every single time. Never post it anywhere unless your art is labeled correctly. This is something I learned, by reading a lot because, I didn't know all of this stuff. But now that I'm just trying to share it with you, that these are good practices to be had to get your art in front of people. Okay? Now, another thing that you need to do that I learned by mistake is that how to take a good photograph. So initially, when I did take a photograph and I would edit it, sometimes I would see that the background that was in there was not really properly cropped off. You need to just showcase only your art, regardless of whether it's in a frame or not. Don't take the picture of the frame. When you present your main artwork, make sure that the frame is not in the picture. You can utilize the frame as a secondary picture, but when you take a photograph of your art, make sure there's no background. It's only your art, and that's what you see. Okay, you can do this by putting your 9x11s through a scanner, easiest thing to do. And or for large pieces of canvas panels, take a photograph, take your phone, take a picture, and edit it so that all the boundaries of the artwork are cut out and you only see your art. Never post anything that has unclean boundaries because it distracts your eye. It just is, and other artists pointed that about my artwork. So, I mean, I haven't corrected all of my artwork, but most of it I am in the process of correcting. And this is because some other artists pointed that out about some of my paintings. So you have to be careful that when you present your art to people, cut the boundaries out. Okay? Take the photograph on a cloudy day or a shady spot away from direct sunlight. So cloudy days are perfect. So, just go out there on a cloudy day like today. It might rain today, but today is a good day. You can lay the photograph on the ground, take a photo from the top, or you can stand it up if it stands up well. Like for instance, your paper, okay? Your paper is not going to stand up well. It's always going to have a little curve or something. So what I would do is I would take it and lay it flat. But then if you have a watercolor painting, those watercolor paintings will tend to make your painting a little warped, because that's what watercolor does, right? It'll make your painting a little warped like that. So what you do with that is you take those paintings after they are dried up, put it under heavy books, get your painting to flatten up, and then it'll lay flat, and then you can lay it on the ground on a cloudy day, take a picture from the top, and then crop out all of the background, and then label it the way I told you to, and then post it. Okay? So that's one thing to do. Now, additional resources. I know that I have done this session for you wherein we did 10 sessions where we've discussed about 12 or 13 artists, I think, or 14 artists in 10 days. But you can visit museums for free. So instead of putting all those museum names and so forth, I found this very nice resource. And these are 20 museums you can visit for free without leaving your home. So go to this article, click on it, figure out what those museums are, and then go visit them. Spend some time. Museums are, you know, pretty big places, and all of these museums are doing a fantastic job trying to bring their art to you. Some of the additional resources that I use, we've talked about all of these places, right, from in my previous PowerPoints, that you can go to the Louvre in Paris, go online, check out that, then the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. We've discussed the National Museum. Some of the paintings are in Poland, in Italy, in Venice, you know, and so forth, in Germany, in Russia, in Rome, in New York City, in Amsterdam, and Paris. So you can, you know, Google all these different museums, go and check them out. Some of them are free, and you can go online and visit all those. How do you improve your art, right? How to improve is practice makes perfect. Some teacher told me this long time ago, long time ago. And the more you practice, the better you are going to get at whatever it is you do. Okay? So if it's art you like, go ahead and do art. If it's music you like, do music. If it's gardening you like, garden more. Okay? And learn whatever it is that you like. Take online courses. Go online. There's a lot of resources out there. Read a lot. Go to the library. Check out those books. Read about whatever your passion is. I'm not saying that it should be art or music or engineering or science or biology or whatever. It doesn't matter. Architecture. Everybody will like something. Some people write poetry. I know Saroj writes a lot of poetry. She's a poet, and she's a very, very learned person. And so, you know, so I'm sure she reads a lot, she writes a lot, which is amazing. And then she shares it. So go ahead and share your work with people, right? And share your work with us. It doesn't matter if my class gets over tomorrow. You have my email address, you have my phone number. So I want you to share your work with me, even if it is 10 years from now or 20 years from now. Send it to me. If I'm around in 20 years or 25 years, I will respond, okay? And then I created a Facebook group for our group. It's called ArtStart by Hyacinth, at ArtStart by Hyacinth, or this Facebook group. You can go in there and post your art there. It's free, you know, so that's another area. This painting that you see in the background is Purple Rain. See, I named it all kinds of, you know, names. I called it Purple Rain because when I painted it, there was no particular idea. I started this painting. I knew what the colors were I was going to paint, and it's an abstract painting. This is my abstract thought. And then when it was done, I looked at it, and you know, my daughter was here. It was the quarantine time, and we looked at it, and we were discussing back and forth. What should I call it? What should I call it? And then it looked to me like, oh, it's raining purple. Some people said, oh, it's like a garden. I even threw out this painting out there, and I asked my Facebook friends, what should I call it? And some people said it looked like a garden. It looked like everybody came up with different ideas. And then to me, I thought that was raining purple. So I called it Purple Rain. And then people even commented, they said, oh, that's a song. It's okay. Yeah, it is a song by Prince, Purple Rain, okay? But to me, that painting looked like Purple Rain, and so I called it Purple Rain. Does that make sense to you? So that is my 2 cents for today's lecture. Abigail, I love your moves. I really love your moves. That's awesome. So let's see. Unmute everybody. I never muted you in the first place, but I would love to hear your thoughts and questions if you have any. Do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions? Questions? Do you guys have questions? Okay.
Georg, you're very quiet. You want to ask any question, maybe? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're okay? Good. Haley, how about you?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. I'm looking forward to your art, everyone. Tonight I'll publish it at midnight, maybe. But send me those pictures, okay? All right?
Yes.
Did you? All right. And so, any questions about you know, how to put the art out there? No? Okay. Try out something, and if something works, you let me know. Okay? All right. That was my lecture for today. It's a short lecture. It's only half an hour. I mean, we're not creating a painting today, but by all means, if you want to do a painting, go for it. Okay? I know some of you have shared a lot of your paintings. I love it. I have about 140 pieces of art for um, tomorrow's exhibition. That'll be our online exhibition. Make sure you tell your friends and family, send them that little link and say, hey, come watch my painting exhibition. It's online tomorrow. It's on Zoom, so they can come in and check it out. Okay? So do that. Will you do that? Yes? Okay.
Of course.
Awesome. So if there's no more questions, I'll call it a day and I'll go to my garden before it starts pouring tonight. Okay?
Thank you, Hyacinth. Thank you, Hyacinth.
Very
Welcome.
can I tell you?
If nothing to paint, I learned something about the art.
Thank you.
Thank you so
This is more an art appreciation course and a little bit of painting. I may have showed you a few shading techniques.
Okay, why are you dancing?
But you know, so I hope that you know you'll continue to come to my classes because I will do at least 1 or 2 per month. And I'll send you an email if your parents allow you. Please join because even though you will graduate tomorrow from your first session of ArtStart, you will then become alumni of my ArtStart program, and then you can come as you will and share your art with me, and I will put it up on stuff. Okay, that's that. All right, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hyacinth. Thank you. Will you tell us when you will take class? Then we will join.
Yes, I'll send an email out. Is that okay?
Okay,
I'll
thank
send
you.
an email out, and
Okay.
my next class will be. Oh,
Thank
hi,
you.
Dolly.
Oh, we don't have a class tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are doing a class for sure. Tomorrow is your
Tomorrow.
exhibition. So all of the artwork is going to be exhibited of all the students, and I have 140 pictures right now. So you know, and you're welcome to talk about your art when I show it, and it'll be very nice. Okay.
Thank you, Hyacinth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hyacinth.
Bye bye.